The following program is a production of Ho'ike Kaua'i Community Media. Aloha Kaua'i, I'm Tricia Allen, sitting next to the Hawaii State Counselor, School Counselor of the Year, Mrs. Noelani Butcher. How are you today?
Good, I'm wonderful.
Well, that's a bit of an understatement. Noelani Butcher has been a counselor at Chiefess Kamakahelei Middle School for 3 years now and has been focusing on the students' mental health during a time that can be pretty awkward and full of biological as well as social changes.
How long have you been a school counselor?
I have been a school counselor for 14 years.
Okay, and then in education for how long?
This is my 24th year in education.
Wow. Okay, so before you were a school counselor, what did you do?
I was a teacher, a special education teacher for 11 years. I taught students different grade levels, primarily elementary school, with behavior problems.
Okay.
And all kids have behaviors, right? I guess I wouldn't say problem, but I taught all the different subjects, and it was very challenging. But I found that I liked the behavioral part, the why, and not so much the math. I never assigned homework as a teacher.
Okay. Which is, I'm sure the students love that,
Yes.
right? So what about the special education part kind of drew you?
I think behavior. I think that children that question why are we doing the math, or and again, it's not necessarily disrespectful, but that always drew me in of why we do something, and just they have more personality. I feel like so I just enjoyed the different diversity of those students.
Okay. And then, so from special education teacher to counselor, what did that switch over look like?
We were in Texas. My husband was in the military and teaching, and I just realized that so much of my teaching, my lesson plans always had to stop whenever there was a behavior or there was a mental moment. And so it was like there was no teaching going on if you're not ready to learn. And
that makes sense.
Yeah, so I just found myself liking that a little bit more than doing the math and the spelling and the science, although I love that, and that's really important, and teachers do amazing work. But working with the kids on their social well-being, their emotional well-being kind of hooked me.
Did it? Okay. Now, I'm not a teacher, obviously. Can you tell me the difference between like a day in the life of a teacher versus a day in the life of a counselor?
Oh.
Like, what sort of interactions with students do you have, and how are they different?
Well, I think both are very challenging. No 2 days are the same with any children, I think. If you have kids, you know that. Teachers are driving the bus or the train. They're the teaching train. They've got their class, they're in charge of their class, and they've got to move through that curriculum and teach the children. That's their job, is to fill them with the content. And the problem is when kids come to school hungry, sleepy, tired, emotional issues, they're not ready to be on that bus.
Okay.
Yeah. So sometimes, and teachers can't always stop the bus. And sometimes teachers feel like, I don't know what to say or do in this moment. Mm-hmm. And so that's where I can come in and help support students and teachers in that to get everything going. Because, I tell them, I said, don't stop the bus. Just, we'll keep going and I'll come in and help. And
okay.
So my name is Wendy Schwartz. I'm the interim principal at Chiefess Kamakahelei. We really believe in the whole child, and we really understand that, especially at the middle school level, that the students need academic and social emotional support. And Noe is a really important part of our team. I think in particular, Noe is being recognized just for her ability to not only connect with the teachers, but she's able to really be proactive and start programs that are unique. She really looks at the needs of the students and reaches out to the community. She's been working with the food bank and making sure that we have snacks for the students, and just connecting the students, the teachers, and the families with outside resources from the community. So we just really appreciate her. She's been a really valuable part of the team. So I am thankful that she was recognized as such.
But for me, I like to say I'm the sprinkles on the ice cream. I like the fun stuff.
I like that analogy.
I like the fun stuff, and I'm not gonna lie. So some programs that I value and I find very important is the game room. I think that not all students like to run and play at recess, although they should, but some of them like to socialize in different ways. And so I started the game room at our middle school, and we have board games, card games. We do have some electronic games, which they like, but they're socializing during all that. I just like to give them a different place to go, more selection, because no two kids are the same.
Yeah.
And they don't want the same thing every day.
Miss Butcher's game room really impacted the school year because during school I would struggle a lot, and this game room would take my mind off of a lot of things.
Favorite thing about the game room is that just like all our friends come and we just like hang out.
My favorite thing about the game room is like the atmosphere. Like, look at this. It's so nice around here. Everyone's super nice. Yeah.
The game room is very fun because, I don't know, it just like gets us to meet new people and just like become friends with them and stuff.
It's nice to hang out with your friends in here and just chill.
Yeah, and they have food.
Yeah, it helps you calm down if you're having a hard day or something.
So besides the game room, another passionate program that I'm working on is the needs closet, because students always have needs where they need shoes or they need, a different shirt or shorts or something. Some of our students, are homeless. So we try to meet the needs, whatever they are. The toothpaste or the toothbrushes, shampoo, that kind of stuff. Hygiene is a huge one, deodorants, all sorts of hair products. And so I'm trying to grow my closet and have that available to the students when they need it, to just come by and grab some stuff. And then, part of the closet is the food pantry, and we've partnered with Kauaʻi Food Bank to provide snacks.
What's your favorite snack that she brings?
Sour Patch Kids.
Sour Patch Kids?
Yeah.
So those go first?
Yeah.
They're already gone. Are they? Let me see.
Middle schoolers can eat, and they can eat a lot. And so that was one of the huge needs that I saw at middle school, was that they come to school hungry, tired, and cranky. And sometimes if you just give them a snack, and like give them a moment to eat that snack, they're less hangry and they're ready to learn.
But honestly, of all the schools where you could be a counselor, I have to imagine that middle school is the most kind of, random. Like, so many different things are happening to these middle school kids. How do you keep up with all of the changes?
I think being flexible and realizing what is happening during this time in their life has been really important for me. And I have to say, middle school is my jam.
Good.
I really enjoy it because, it's like, who are you going to get today? Which personality? So I really like middle school because of all the changes, but they change so much, and I'm really excited because I'm the 8th grade counselor this year. I've started when they were in 6th grade. And
you had these same kids from 6 to 8?
Yes, and they are going to transition to high school, and I'm not going with them.
Oh, how bittersweet!
And they have asked me many times, "Are you going to come with us?" No. So, but it's been really fun to transition them and see their growth during this time, and really just like your baby birds are going to fly.
Yeah. Now, the school counselor of the year. Did you know you were up for this? Were you nominated? How does it work?
I was nominated by my vice principal, Tahara Stein, and she told me that she nominated me after the fact, and I was just honored to be nominated. I didn't think anything of it, but I was very surprised.
Wow. I'm not surprised. She's a really good teacher. Yeah. Really understanding and helping.
What do you like the most about her?
Miss Butcher is really the best. She's always there to talk to, and she's very open, and she's helped us throughout our 6th, 7th, and 8th grade years.
She's nice. She likes personality. Yeah, she helps you a lot if you really need it. I think she's very caring. She cares about the kids, and she really puts her all into everything that she does.
Her kindness to people.
Her personality.
Yeah. She doesn't judge us. She's the one person that all of us can go to with no judgment, no nothing, and she's really just the best person here. And I wish she could follow us to high school, but
I wouldn't want any other counselor.
yeah.
Is there anything that you need to be particularly good at that you weren't expecting to have to be particularly good at in order to do your job well?
You need to listen and not try to fix it. Because I don't have a magic wand.
Okay.
And, you know, sometimes students think, well, if I go see her, she's going to fix it. And I tell them, I can't fix it, but I can listen and I can be there in the moment and understand and know where they're coming from, you know, if it's a stressful moment or if their pet has died or a relationship has ended, and just show empathy. But listening is one of the greatest skills, and to not talk. And sometimes it's hard.
How often is just listening sort of the solution?
It's a lot. I would say 80% of the time, if you just listen and kids, they know you're there. Yeah.
You empower them to sort of...
We would talk about skills and maybe practice a couple of breathing skills or, you know, different things. Do school level counseling where I do meet students maybe once or twice a week, just depending on what they're working on to get them through. Sometimes they have a traumatic event that's happened in their life and they just need a little extra support at that time, but it's not forever. You know, and then the referrals, working with the community and the parents to give them referrals if they need further assistance that's beyond, you know, the school counseling realm. Sometimes going to your pediatrician.
Okay. And sometimes, it could get heavy every now and then. How do you not take that stuff home with you?
You do.
You do?
You do, yeah. My kids and my husband joke about, you know, your work kids, but you do, because we're in helping professions. We help people, and it's just like doctors or nurses or anybody that helps anybody at any time. You don't just take it off and leave it there. Although one thing that I've had to do is, you know, self-care is like taking care of yourself, because if I'm tired and cranky, I'm gonna be tired and cranky around kids that might need me, and that might turn them off to be like, she doesn't want to deal with me today. She doesn't want to listen. So just finding that balance. And
they're okay sharing you with your work kids too? That's nice of them, your family. Thank you for sharing your mom.
Well, I tell them that they are my only children in my family, and they come first, but they know that it's a balance. But they do help me. They help me with the game room. Like whenever I get some new game equipment, they help me put it up and move it every summer. And
do they help with like ideas too, maybe?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, yes.
Nice.
My kids always are telling me what's cool and what's in and what kids want to play with.
Isn't it great when they keep you in the loop?
They do.
So you don't feel old?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kids keep you young.
Yeah, it's nice that way.
They do. Well, they keep you immature. I want to say that I laugh at the most inappropriate things because of the people I'm around all day.
Yeah. What's the best piece of advice anybody ever gave you that you just completely ignored?
Okay.
Like you were smart to ignore it.
Oh, okay. So I was a business major when I went to college, and I, on a whim, said, I'm going to be a teacher. I had some friends and they were working on a project, and I said, what's that for? And they were telling me about their classes.
Yeah.
And I said, that sounds so cool. And I changed my major.
More from the business.
Yes, drawing and coloring pictures. So I told my mom, I said, I'm going to go into education. I'm going to be a teacher. And she said, no, you'll be a horrible teacher.
Oh, no.
She said, you have no patience. but I did not take her advice and I became a teacher. And again, I'm very fortunate to say that I love my job. I don't love all the paperwork maybe or some of the non-essential stuff, but I like the kid part of my job.
It's a necessary evil.
Yes.
The paperwork and stuff.
It is. So whenever I can go to the game room,
you like it just as much as the kids.
I do actually. Yeah, I tell my principal, I was like, you want to keep me happy and keep me here, let me have my game room so I can
didn't make the game room for the kids, you made it for yourself.
Yes, that is true.
Secret's out, everybody knows now.
Yeah.
I don't know, I could ask you what your favorite thing about being a counselor is, but I have a feeling it would be a pretty long list. Or wouldn't it? Would it be a short list if I asked you what your favorite thing about being a counselor is?
No, being with the kids.
Yeah?
Yeah. Direct services is my absolute favorite
That's
thing.
where you're one-on-one with the children, right?
Right.
Okay.
Anything I can do with them, spend time with them, be with them in any setting, groups or at recess or assemblies, that really is a wonderful thing.
It's clearly why you're a great counselor, because you drop everything when the kids need you and you come up with some really great things like the game room. Do you have any advice for parents and with middle schoolers who are maybe going through this change in life and technology and all that stuff?
Oh, absolutely. Know what is on your kids' devices. Have passwords for everything. Talk to your kids. Be there to listen, even if you don't want to hear it. It's very important at this age because they like to hide a lot.
Even if you don't want to hear it, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. As long as they feel listened to, right? I mean, that's a good place to start.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what a lot of kids say. I want to just be heard and listened to.
Ho'ike Kaua'i Community Media's president and CEO is Allegra Gaines. Administrative assistant, Leko Someda. Production and education services by Roger Olson. Production and IT services by Max Richardson. News and events producer, Tricia Allen. County producer and social media manager, Olivia Franco.